Welcome, all you +2 comedy modifiers, back to the stream. Welcome back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play, where we try to discover the deeper, underlying meanings of Jonathan Blow's The Witness. I'm going to be honest with you, I've had to record this a few times, so I'm a little stressed out right now, but this is a laid-back, annotated Let's Play. So I will start simply by saying thank you so much for your patience. We took quite a lengthy break from Solving the Witness, but Solving the Witness is now back. So it should be coming out regularly again. I won't say weekly, but it's going to be coming out regularly again, like we all want it to. So please enjoy this episode of Solving the Witness. Welcome, all you +2 comedy modifiers, back to the stream. Welcome back to Solving the Witness, a laid-back, annotated Let's Play from this dark void. So we were at the point where I was just kind of doing cleanup. I was just kind of going around trying to get environmentals and stuff like that. But that was getting kind of boring. So we're going to go into the mountain. We're going to do all this gym jams now. And then after I do some stuff and some puzzles in there, then we'll come back. I just wanted to give, like... I'm a big fan of Boundary Break, and Boundary Break always does, like, the big zoom out of everything. I just want to take a moment and kind of look at everything from up on high. Get killed by this laser beam. I remember that there was something down here that I couldn't open, which I eventually need to go back and check out. This kind of looks like a man face down in the water, a very large man. Don't know what that is. That looks weird. So yeah, you can see the keep from here. There's the Tree of Many Faces. And there's that spinning windmill. Just doing its thing. Already got this. So I won't do it again. I'm just looking around, see if there's anything in particular from this vantage point that I need to take a look at. I know I've been up here once before and talked about the climber and get my head cut off. Just looking around, seeing what's going on. And this guy about to fall off, about to back off and fall off the... He's holding a book. I don't think I ever noticed he was holding a book. It's like he's clutching his pearls. Editor Noah popping in here. I did mention this in a previous episode, but I will just really quickly recap my theory on this again. It appears that the woman is yelling at a man who is holding a book close to his heart. The idea is perhaps the book being either religion or science of some kind, some sort of factual book or some sort of book of faith. And he's using that as a shield as he is getting yelled at by, I assume his wife, but a woman. And he's using that as a shield to protect him from whatever the opposing view is. And that is actually causing him to back up and lead to his demise because he'll fall off the mountain. I already said all this in another video, but I bring it up here, so I thought I'd recap my thoughts once again. Ah, she mad. You got a laptop here, that's weird. Laptop and like two very different generations of creative tools. Alright guys, it's time for me to say it. There has been something that's been floated to me many, many times when it comes to this game, and I always ignore it because I always feel like it's a personal attack on me for doing what I'm doing. I have been saying since day one that there is no time because, well, the sun doesn't move, and there's a very easy argument against that. I know I've been trying to avoid that whole theory for a while now, but there is a theory that can easily erase that idea, and that's very simply, it's a video game. And I've been avoiding this as a theory because I don't want to admit, it's just a video game, because you can kind of hand wave things with that all the time. Just like, because I noticed the symmetry, because it's repeated assets. It's a video game. And I would like to say that everything in this game is happening with purpose. So just writing it off, it's just a video game thing, kind of kills a lot of the theories and a lot of the thought process here. But it's time to really reflect on that thought. What if it is just a video game? What if it is all a simulation? This is a theory that I've been avoiding since the beginning, but I think it's getting close, especially since I'm further in the game than player Noah is. Editor Noah is much further. It's time for me to voice this theory. It is entirely possible that all of this is a simulation. All of this is a video game. And how would you construct this world? Well, you'd use a computer. So the idea of the computer being more than like the laptop being something that scopes out the world, makes a lot of sense. So that seems to be pointing in a direction I really didn't want to venture in, but hey, makes a lot of sense. I really enjoy the mountain. I think the mountain's very interesting. We got the surveyor. We already listened to that. This guy's trying to break stuff. Jerk, what are you doing? Put a shirt on. What are you doing up here with no shirt? It's cold. Alright, so if memory serves, there's supposed to be a way that I can pull this all the way down. Maybe I lined it up like that. But I don't remember how to do that. So we will eventually get to that. I think I need to open this up a bit because this becomes stairs and then I can look underneath it or something. Oh crap, I missed all the people here. Good evening. Finally live, not just on YouTube. Laptop and a chisel. Yeah, I always thought that was, I like the laptop and the chisel. Looks like those people are conquering the secrets of the world, all in their own way. That's an interesting interpretation of it. I don't know how much this guy's accomplishing, unless he wants to accomplish proving Newton's law of gravity. Hey, there's the climber. But further away. And then time passes, like this is a big old clock, and she gets to hear. It's an idea. Yeah, I had the idea that this could be a holy book. I hate that their eyes are not like fully done. And she is not feeling whatever that holy book is. Or she's real upset about this wall. Like, what is he doing with this wall? What an interesting tableau. Because this also could, like, this looks like parents fighting over an upset kid who, like, doesn't want to go to college, or watching their parents get divorced, or he just came out of the closet or something like that. What the hell are you doing? Come back and join. It's dinner. It is Christmas Eve, Greg. What are you doing? Let's go. My family is here. I'm just going to just make up weird stories for all these people. What are you looking at, by the way? What are you looking at? I'm always interested in the perspective of, just kind of looking at this wall. I always try to look where the statue is looking. I always find that interesting. And this, of course, is a reference to Death Stranding. It's not. I'm kidding. So what's cool about this puzzle is the feet are actually in the way, so I have to find ways to get around the feet. And you have to do it several times because it opens up different locks. Where's the end of this damn thing? Oh yeah, it only shows up when you... Alright, you gotta separate black from white, which I've done. Oh, which I have not done. Because there's black there. So I can... That separates that white, and I am standing in the wrong spot. Okay, we'll do this. There we go. So now I can do this. Chunk. And then I can come up here and do dick. This does not work either. Alright, shuffle about a little bit more here. So I know, yeah, so you see when I start this that it opens up over there. What do you think is the meaning of the box? I mean, the obvious interpretation is Pandora, that it's Pandora's box. And I'm about to unleash unbelievable horrors onto the world. I don't know how true that is, but whenever it comes to opening a box, I think that's the first thing to think of. I like the idea because you only need, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lasers. You only need 7 lasers to get in here. But when this opens up, there will be more to the line. I like the idea that you can open the box with partial knowledge. Like, I think there's a good metaphor hiding somewhere in there. Good thought there, player Noah. Let editor Noah try to complete this metaphor. What is the difference between understanding and knowing? This is going to come up a lot later as I go deep, deep into the mountain here. There will become a point where it's very clear that understanding is not enough. Knowing is what is important. The idea of basically, I know how to do something versus I understand how to do something. If I look at a puzzle and I know the answer, that means it's solved. If I look at a puzzle and I say I understand how to do this, it means that I know the process, but I might not know the answer. This kind of reminds me, and I'm not a big fan of this guy, but I think it's the best example of a Joe Rogan bit. Joe Rogan has a bit of nobody knows how to send an email. Everybody understands how to send an email, but nobody knows how. No one knows how any of this stuff works. We understand how to use it, but we don't know how to use it. And people will be like, I know how to use everything. It's like, okay, if I send you out into the woods with an axe, how long till you can send me an email? I don't know how to get to that point, but I understand, if given the things in front of me, how to send an email. So the idea of understanding versus knowledge here that I'm trying to get across is understanding how to get to an answer and just knowing it, having it just be a thing you know just when you look at it. You know, I understand how to operate a car. I know that I push one pedal to make it go, I turn the thing to make it turn, and I need to fill it up with gas. But if it is to brake, and I don't, like, as in stop working, I don't know how a car works. It's just, I take it to someone who knows how cars work. I just understand how to work one. So that's kind of the theory I'm kind of putting out here. And by the time you go into the mountain, you pretty much understand all the rules. You don't know it. It's not part of your soul yet, but it'll need to be. Yeah, that one was sealed. I think it's interesting. Pandora's box lets a lot of things out, but leaves hope, if I remember the Greek story correctly. It, like, lets out evil, but there's always hope, is kind of the deal. God, how do I do this? I'm just not seeing it right now, because that's not good enough. I also haven't played in a while. Oh yeah, the box does have texture. We did talk about this. I don't. This episode's not up on YouTube yet, but we did talk about how all the symbols from the past puzzles appear on the box. And then there's a few things that kind of just look like mazes, but I've always thought those were strange to have mixed in there. I mean, I guess that's the sun symbol. Like, there's a few things that don't really fit. Like, I don't think that really fits. That kind of looks like houses. That's just a square. I think it'd be really cool wrapping paper. I'm assuming you're Matthias, right, from the comments. I know I haven't responded to all your comments, but I greatly appreciate them. Yes. I'm working on editing right now the episode where I quote you, because you brought up a really good point about the keep. So that's where I am in terms of editing. There's like one more circle to start out, right? Yes, this game is my absolute favorite, and I have the issue that nobody wants to talk about it. I do stand-up comedy, and I used to do a stand-up bit uh, about The Witness. And I said The Witness is the video game equivalent to cigarettes, in that it's not very good. There's a lot of things you can say bad about them, but I'm totally addicted and I would like you to do it with me. God damn it, I'm feeling real dumb right now. What if Oh, thanks for the support. Much appreciated. Just trying different perspectives. It's been so long since I did this puzzle. Because that's so many issues. Having so many issues. If I could just... Yeah, I don't think The Witness ever got filmed. It wasn't a joke that did well. Because if you haven't played The Witness, it was just kind of gibberish. And if you have played The Witness, it was a little insulting. It's like, hey, my favorite game. Right, but I gotta separate the black and the white dots. I love to hate it. I struggle with it every time. Yeah, I like the idea that the solution, you know exactly what you need to do with this puzzle. It's just a matter of doing it. I'm working on this whole video essay about puzzles, and I want to graph the time you start and the time you end. Like, you're starting a puzzle completely blind. The end, like, you finish and solve the puzzle. And where on that timeline the aha moment happens, and how far the aha moment is to solving it. Because, like, there are so many puzzles where, like, as soon as it clicks, you're done. And then there's so many puzzles where, like, this one's like, I know exactly what I have to do. Doing it, though, quite difficult. You see that? Player Noah got there anyway. The difference between knowing and understanding. I just want to quickly throw something in there. I talk about video essays in here. I was in the process of starting the +2 Comedy video essay channel. That was something that was happening in the background. It's part of the reason why I've been gone for so long. And it kind of fell apart and didn't come through. Instead, I ended up making a pro wrestling channel. So if you're looking for something to watch after this, check out +2 Wrestling, starring Scott Holiday, a guy that looks like, sounds like, and is me talking about professional wrestling. It's a side project that's kind of one of the reasons it took me away from solving The Witness. So check that out. It's been doing pretty well, and I'm real happy with it. And I also wanted to voice to you, hey, do you still want +2 Comedy video essays? Is that something that you're interested in? If you are, let me know. And if you're just sitting there like, no, Noah, it took forever for this episode of Solving the Witness to come out. Work on that, Noah. Stop getting distracted, Noah. It's been episode after episode of you almost going into the mountain, Noah. And you're not in the mountain yet, Noah. Get in the mountain, Noah. Get in the god... Portal, you say? Come here, turret. Portal, you say? He just lives next to me. Yeah, Portal is my other favorite game. I remember I was doing a comedy show, and we end with a Q&A, and someone asked me what my favorite game of all time was, and I had a breakdown, because I couldn't choose between this, Portal, Bioshock Infinite, and Catherine. What do I want? What do I want out of this? Okay. Do this. How do I separate? I mean, I could do, but maybe, all right, let me cut a little bit more this way, so I can kind of see more. This way I can do this. If I can, I just want to cut down that lane. Now I can't see anything. Whoops, I went to the wrong circle. Whatever. If I do this, I want to seal off. Let me just get real up close on it like this. Here we go. This way I can come up here, seal this. Yeah, this is such a well-designed puzzle. Like, the idea that the placement of the circle makes completely different puzzles. Like, this is a brilliantly designed puzzle. It's just I am effing it up. How would I do this? Maybe this. But now that white needs to be separated still. But there's not a good way back. And I can't go all the way up. Nah, his foot's there anyway, so I can't, like, go all the way up that lane anyway. I'll try this the other way. Maybe that'll provide me with some sort of thought process here. Because if I do this, that's good. And then do this, that's good. Aha! That's one. That's one. Yeah, the fact that they appear randomly allows them, not randomly, but you don't know when you start, is a nice way of kind of like hiding the solution. Can't. Just changing my perspectives. Give my perspective a twist. Here we go. And there's a reason that that's broken. Alright. I can't do that. Yeah, there's no way for me to separate that black dot from this perspective. No. This perspective doesn't work. Use slave-shaped slingshot? If I stand here, I can separate. How do I separate the other one? If I stand... Can't even get to it from here. So we do that. Boom. Then I can't. I need to be able to get to that other white dot. So. Oh, come on. Maybe here? Because that'll open up more of a lane for me. But I can't, like, soup that around, which is the problem. So is there any way I can get this so I can start by fully enclosing the black? There's that, but I don't think I'll be able to fully enclose the other black dot that way. It's like this seems like a safe move, but yeah, I'm never going to be able to circle. See, what I'd love to be able to do is just slide right under his leg, but I can't. I can't. There's not going to be a way for me to do that. No, there isn't. There isn't. There isn't. This gives me so little options on this side. This gives me no option. Well, this gives me the front side. So I think I need to decide which way this line goes. Because it can either go on the left or right side of this man. So let me look at the other square. If I... Hold up. No, doesn't work. Okay, I can do that though. From here, I can kind of give myself an extra lane in the middle. Oh, but I can't even see the circle, so that's not it. So if I look at it from this way, give myself that extra lane. I want to be able to do that, but that's not going to happen. Maybe a few steps this way, like this. No. Yeah, I think I can just do it now, where I go around, and then I can come up, cut. Oh. Then take a step. Okay. Around, and then I come up, I cut this off, come back. Oh. I had it. I need. It's a game of inches right now. All right, here we go. Do this. Come up. That's cut off. That's cut off from that, and that's like that. It's 2. That's 2. I solved that so good somebody left. That's how good that solve was. Also, the fact that this is on a mountain, like, it's really easy. Oh, you can kind of get a little preview of what's going on down there. Lots of broken stuff. That's fun. Previews. The fact that this is a mountain immediately makes you think Mount Olympus. So the idea that this is where the gods are makes sense. No, Noah, it doesn't make sense. So for his argument, the idea that this being Mount Olympus and where the gods are, the idea that we would then be Prometheus. Prometheus is the one who climbed Mount Olympus and stole fire and basically brought fire back to the humans. Fire is kind of a metaphor in that story for knowledge. So stealing knowledge and giving it to us mortals that the gods were hoarding from us. Kind of makes sense in that it's a mental journey to get up the mountain and learn all this stuff so that you are worthy to learn the true information that is harnessed inside the mountain. Kind of has some nice parallels. There are a few problems with it that, in my mind, completely discredit this theory. One, Prometheus is caught for stealing the knowledge and ends up being tortured by having his body eaten by birds and healing and repeatedly eaten again. That doesn't seem like the reward this game is trying to teach us. This game is pretty much from the beginning. The main message is knowledge equal good. So the idea that at the end it's like, you've learned everything. Torture is kind of like a bad metaphor. It's a bad analogy to Greek mythology. So I don't think it's that. I don't think that's the point they're trying to make here. 2, there's not a lot of mythology and things like that in The Witness. The only place that exists is kind of the shrine, which, hey, new interpretation of the shrine. The shrine, in order to see mystical things that aren't real and don't exist, you have to ignore everything around it and only look at a certain area. So you have to make yourself blind for things like mythology to actually make sense. This game, I don't think, is really leaning on mythology as one of the core concepts that it's trying to get through. I think it's trying to kind of disavow mythology personally. So I don't think this is meant to be a metaphor for Mount Olympus. And finally, I have something really big I'm going to reveal at the end of this that is super obvious, but not something that I've seen before. So I think I can pretty much dispel that this is Mount Olympus, but now's not the time. Wait till the end. Maybe like this. Like this, maybe? There's no like good lanes that way though. Maybe the other way. Maybe like this. This seems to make way more sense. Because then I can do this. Haha. And then I can cut this off like that. And then cut that off like, nope, not quite. Not quite. It's a good idea though. The arch for me is the symbol of the mountain, and it looks also like the puzzle exit. Yeah, there's that like arcs. It's very interesting for in this game, which is about drawing straight lines, to separate the end game using curved lines. Like it makes this area feel special. I just need to be able to cut this off. So maybe if I take another step like this, I think. Right, because I separated. Oh, nope. Still gotta be able to see this. Okay. So, separated. I can't go through the leg, so I think I'm gonna need. Oh, maybe. That'll actually cut it off, yeah. Because if I go like this, that cut. Oh, it's so good. It's so good, it's so close. I'm gonna get real up close to it. Well, I gotta be able to get to the ending. I won't be able to get to the ending like this. So like that. Boink. Oh man, if I could go all the way up here, it would work. And then there's no. Arch. Yeah, arc. An arc, an arch. I guess they're not quite the same words, but they're similar enough. Just not arc. So just to clarify the things that I was saying there, an arc is just something I threw in there. A-R-K. Is this the thing Noah saved all the animals on? We're not really talking about one of those, but it sounds like the two other words we're talking about, which is arch and arc. An arc, A-R-C, is an imaginary line. The arc of a basketball that is thrown. That is an arc. An arch, A-R-C-H, is physical. It actually exists. So the big metal poles above this area are arches. They are not arcs, because arcs only exist kind of mathematically and imaginarily. And arches are physical things that actually exist. So these are big metal arches. I also want to say that the way that the arches kind of go around the center of the mountain, where all the beams of light are going, kind of creates a look of an atom. That's not something that I've gone super deep into, but just the different paths the electrons kind of go kind of made me think of arches. And, well, I guess technically those would be arcs because those don't physically exist. It's just the distance traveled by an electron in an atom. All right, well, there's a realization I had in real time. A real-time realization. Just the thought I wanted to throw out there of kind of this being the nucleus of the island. This is not the big reveal about the mountain. Instead of using the edge, I'm thinking, okay. like back here. If I can cut... I can cut through here. No. No, that doesn't quite work. Don't do it. I just want to go down the stair. I could fit through here. Just pry it open. Use brute strength. That's what this game needs. Give me a quick time event where I mash the X button. So I just want to be able to have another lane. Like, well, if I do this, cut that off, and then I just need to... Here we go. I got it. I got it. Boom. And that's going to do it for this episode of Solving the Witness. But before you go, I have 3 things that I have to bring up that are very important. This is the big reveal time. First off, we've opened the doorways into the mountain. And next episode, we are not going down there. I know that's a disappointment, but if you were paying very close attention, you can see why we're not going to go into the mountain next episode. Were you paying attention? Did you see the clue? If you figured out why we're not going into the mountain, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to see if anybody caught what's going down right now. 2, I mess up this puzzle. I know I spent a lot of time on it, but there's actually a very easy way to solve it. This puzzle needs to be solved 3 times, each from kind of different perspectives and different starting points. And the challenge of it is trying to figure out where the right place to stand is. If you look at the statues that are at the top of the mountain, there are 3 statues that have to do with looking in a particular direction. That's the perspective you need in order to solve the puzzle all 3 ways. This is kind of telling you, or kind of reflecting back on the orchard, the apple puzzles. This is a moment where you need to use the clues around you in the environment in order to see a puzzle correctly. I never figure that out. I do this through guess and check, and it's a huge problem, and it takes a really, really long time. And I don't honestly think I realized this until the Witness Iceberg came out. That's what really clued me in to all of that. But it's a really cool thing, and it's something that I missed, but I didn't want you to be missing that at home, so I want to take some time and explain that. And third, and this is the big thing I want to talk about, the mountain has opened. And the mountain, of course, has a very distinct look to it in that it is hexagonal. And we've talked about the 6 different major points of the Witness and how 6 is a reoccurring number in the Witness. That being said, this is actually something that is really naturally occurring. If you take a look at something called Giant Causeway, it is a structure of naturally occurring stones that are hexagonal. It is believed, according to legend, that an Irish giant named Flynn MacCool wanted to do battle with a Scottish giant with a less cool name. And thus they built the causeway so that they could fight. And, you know, there also just so happens to be a giant on the side of this mountain, which is the woman reaching out. So, I know I said it wasn't Greek mythology. Is it Irish or Scottish mythology? No, it's not. That's the legend, but that's not how it's really formed. Guys, hexagonal stones appear like this because this is what happens when lava cools. It cools kind of like in the center first and then outward, and it forms this kind of like honeycomb, like tower structure of stone because it's molten rock. So when cooled, it just becomes rock again. It's lava. And what do you know? The mountain opens and is hollow inside. Because it's not a mountain. It's a volcano. I don't know why we never thought of this before. You know, I do research and I try to stay blind to certain things while I'm doing research, but I'm pretty sure the Witness volcano should have popped up in front of me at some point in time. But that explains the hexagons. That explains why the mountain itself is hollow. They didn't drill, they didn't empty out this mountain so that there could be stuff inside. It used to, at some point, be full of lava. And based on the fact that there's hexagons around it, it erupted at some point. So this at some point was an active volcano. There. I hope it was worth the wait, but we are back now with solving the Witness. I hope you can't hear the dogs outside that are barking, because I've done this take 100 times already, and it's taken long enough to get this going, so I'm leaving it in. So I hope you dog lovers love that noise. Please, if you have any thoughts on today's episode, any of the points I made, here are the takeaways. One, it's a volcano. It's a freaking volcano. The idea of mythology and the idea that this is actually Mount Olympus, I don't think that's right. But Pandora's box, you can make those connections. If there's something I missed that you think really locks in that way of thinking, let me know. The arcs and arches debate that we had, and also the idea that kind of looks like an atom. Do you think there's anything more to that? I didn't go deep into that because it was just kind of a flash in the pan idea. But maybe you have some more thoughts of that being the nucleus to the island. Please let me know that. Also, our friend falling off the mountain with his book against his heart. What do you think's going on with him? Do you think it's meant to represent religion? Do you think it's meant to represent science? Do you think they're married? I don't know. I instantly think that they're married, but maybe you think they're brother and sister. Let me know your theories in the comments down below, and I promise I will start the next episode of Solving the Witness, which will not be months from now, by reading your comments and giving you my thoughts on them. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe right here to Plus2 Comedy Gaming so you'll get a notification next time we decide to solve the Witness.